All right, let's jump into this deep dive and really like dissect this whole broke to boss
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
It's like everyone wants to build wealth, right? But it's like more than just the money, you know? It's
Absolutely.
about the mindset and the resilience and
Right,
all those steps it takes to kind of go from zero to hero.
right, that whole transformation.
So we're diving into this motivational YouTube video podcast thing called Broke to Boss,
Okay, yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah,
to see how like regular people, right, like just everyday people built this incredible success,
yeah,
starting with practically nothing.
yeah. And what I think is so cool about this is that it's not just like theoretical success stories.
Right.
Like we're going to get into the nitty gritty of like actual journeys
Yeah,
that people have taken, and it's really inspiring stuff. Like it can really light a fire under you to like take action yourself.
totally. And first up, we have Sarah's story.
Okay.
And she started with like $100 and just this love of baking and turned it into a multi-million-dollar online baking business.
Wow, that's incredible.
I know. So talk about like you don't need a small fortune to start something big.
Right, exactly.
Right. Like that's just proof.
Yeah, and Sarah's story is like a masterclass in strategic scaling, you know?
Yeah.
She didn't just go from like $100 to millions overnight.
Yeah.
Um, it's like, think about it like building a house, right?
Yeah.
You need that solid foundation.
Yeah.
She started by like selling at local farmers markets, building those face-to-face relationships with customers,
Yeah.
and really like getting a feel for what people wanted, you know,
Uh-huh.
what they were looking for.
Totally. Like, but then it gets even smarter,
Okay.
She didn't just rely on like word of mouth. She took like social media, specifically Instagram, and
Mhm.
turned it into this like customer generating machine.
Yeah, Instagram is so powerful for that.
I know, it's crazy.
It is, yeah.
So this is where the how gets really interesting, you know. Sarah used Instagram like a total pro. Like she would
Yeah.
offer like exclusive recipes to her followers, give them like behind the scenes glimpses of her baking process,
Oh, cool.
and like respond to every single comment.
Wow, that's
It
dedication.
was all about like fostering this feeling of community
Uh-huh.
and turning those followers into like loyal
Makes
customers
sense.
who felt really connected to her brand.
Yeah, they feel like they know her, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What's like one small step you could take today, right now, like to move towards like your own goal?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right. Like, do you have a skill or hobby you could share?
Ah.
Even just in a small way?
Right.
Could be baking like Sarah or writing or photography,
Mhm.
anything you know.
Yeah, you don't have to have it all figured out. Just take that first step.
Exactly.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
All right, now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about James. He took a totally different path, but achieved this incredible success
Mm-hmm.
by like turning his struggles,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
into this thriving business.
Like, talk about turning lemons into lemonade.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
James was battling chronic illness and just drowning in medical debt.
Oh, wow.
But instead of giving up, he found a way to help others facing like those same challenges.
Yeah, and that's what's so inspiring about his story.
Yeah.
He saw this like huge gap in the market
Right.
for affordable and accessible resources
Yeah.
for managing chronic illnesses.
Yeah.
And so he started a blog
Okay.
where he shared his experiences really openly,
Mhm.
offered practical tips and reviewed products that help him. And it just took off from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he didn't stop there either.
Right.
He turned that blog into a full-fledged online store,
Wow.
selling products that he like genuinely believed in.
Mm-hmm.
And people weren't just buying his products, they were buying into his story.
Hmm.
His authenticity, his like understanding of their pain.
Yeah.
It was amazing. He built a community of support,
Yeah.
not just customers.
Yeah. Love that.
It was really powerful.
Yeah.
James really understood the power of empathy in business.
Uh-huh.
He wasn't just selling a product.
Right.
He was offering a lifeline and that genuine connection with his audience
Yeah.
that built trust and loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
which are like priceless for long-term success.
Totally. It really makes you think like, what challenges have you faced
Yeah.
that could be turned into like opportunities to help others?
Me
Maybe
too.
you've
Right.
overcome like a financial setback or dealt with a difficult health issue
Right.
or found a creative solution to like a common problem.
Mhm.
What if you could use that experience, to make someone else's life easier?
Totally. That's what it's all about.
Right.
Yeah, paying it forward.
Yeah.
It's really amazing how often like the most powerful business ideas come from like our own personal struggles.
Yeah.
It's all about like reframing those challenges and seeing them as opportunities
Yeah.
for growth and innovation.
Right. Exactly.
So for our final story, let's talk about Maria.
Okay.
She really like embodies that pure hustle mindset, that unwavering determination to like build a better life no matter the obstacles.
I love her already.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Okay, so tell me about her.
So Maria immigrated to the U.S. with very little, like basically nothing.
Wow.
But she had this like burning desire to create a better life for herself and her family.
Yeah.
So she took on like multiple jobs,
Wow.
scrimped and saved every penny she could.
That's amazing.
Eventually like scraped together enough to buy her first property.
Wow. So she got into real estate.
Yeah, exactly. But it's easy to say like invest in real estate,
Right.
But Maria's story is about so much more than just buying property.
Yeah.
She had this like incredible long-term vision. She saw real estate as this like path to lasting wealth.
Yeah.
And she was willing to play the long game, starting small and patiently building her empire like brick by brick.
So she was in it for the long haul.
Yeah, absolutely. And her first property, like, let's be real, it wasn't some fancy condo in a trendy neighborhood.
Yeah.
It was a fixer-upper in a rough part of town.
Wow.
But she wasn't afraid to, like, roll up her sleeves,
Yeah.
put in the sweat equity, and learn as she went.
Wow.
She saw potential where others saw problems.
That's huge.
It is.
Yeah.
And Maria's approach to real estate, it wasn't just about luck. It was about continuous learning.
Okay.
She like devoured books on real estate investing,
Oh, wow.
attended seminars, networked with other investors, constantly expanding her knowledge
Yeah.
and refining her strategies.
That's I think her story is like a wake-up call for anyone who's like sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Right, like just waiting for things to happen.
Right. And it makes you think like what limiting beliefs might be holding you back,
Yeah, exactly.
from taking action. Are you like underestimating your own potential?
It's so easy to do.
Just like so many people underestimated Maria, when she first started.
Right, they probably thought she was crazy.
Clearly, like these stories, they're not about privilege or luck.
Nope.
It's about consistently taking action, even when it's uncomfortable or
Yeah.
uncertain, and having the grit to like adapt and learn along the way.
Absolutely, like that's where the real growth happens,
Totally.
when you're outside your comfort zone.
It's amazing, right? Like Sarah, James, and Maria, each facing these unique challenges, but all sharing that like fundamental drive to succeed.
That inner fire.
Yeah, it's the kind of stuff that makes you realize that anyone can achieve remarkable things with the right mindset and the willingness to put in the work. Exactly.
You got to be willing to hustle.
Yeah. And that's the core message here, right? Like success isn't some exclusive club.
Right.
It's open to anyone.
Absolutely.
With the passion, the hustle, and the belief in their own ability to make things happen.
To make their dreams a reality.
Right. So we've heard about starting small,
Yeah.
turning challenges into opportunities, and that relentless hustle that fuels success.
Right.
But let's like zoom out for a second.
Okay.
What are like the common threads that run through all three of these broke to boss journeys?
Well, one thing that really jumps out to me is the willingness to start before you feel ready.
Yeah.
Like Sarah, James, and Maria, they didn't wait for the perfect moment or a guarantee of success. They took that leap of faith.
Yeah.
Learned from their mistakes, and adjusted their course along the way.
Right.
They understood that action beats inaction every single time.
It's like that saying, you don't have to be great to start. Right.
But you have to start to be great.
Exactly.
Sometimes that initial leap is the hardest part.
It is.
But it's also the most crucial.
Yeah.
It sets everything in motion.
Totally. And another common thread is like that entrepreneurial spirit, that ability to like turn challenges into opportunities.
Right.
Each of these entrepreneurs faced setbacks, moments of doubt, times when they wanted to just give up, But instead of letting those challenges define them, they use them as fuel to innovate, to find creative solutions, and to ultimately emerge like stronger and more resilient.
So true. It's so easy to get discouraged when things get tough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But these stories remind us that setbacks are inevitable. It's how we respond to them that determines our success.
Right. Like, do we let them break us, or do we use them as stepping stones
Exact.
to reach even greater heights?
And finally, we can't overlook the power of belief.
Oh, absolutely. Belief in themselves, their vision, and their ability to overcome adversity.
Yeah, that unwavering belief is what allowed them to persevere through tough times.
You're right.
And ultimately achieve their dreams.
They didn't just believe they could succeed.
Right.
They knew they could.
Exactly.
And that conviction, it's contagious.
It is, yeah.
It inspires us to believe in our own potential, even when things seem impossible.
Absolutely. So now let's turn the spotlight back on you.
Okay.
Which of these stories, resonates most with you and why? What aspect of their journey speaks to your own aspirations?
Yeah.
What's one specific action you're inspired to take after hearing these stories? Take a moment to really reflect on that, because sometimes the most powerful insights come from grand pronouncements, but from those quiet moments of self-reflection, where we connect the dots between inspiration and action.
It's so cool how you can take these inspiring stories, and apply them to your own situation, your own goals, and your potential. That's when inspiration turns into action and dreams start becoming reality.
And that's where the real magic happens.
Right.
It's not about copying someone else's success.
Yeah.
It's about finding your own path, fueled by the lessons you've learned and the fire that's been ignited within you.
Love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Broke to Boss, let's leave you with a final thought-provoking question to chew on. Think about your existing skills, your passions, and the resources you have available right now.
Right.
Even if they feel limited.
Yeah, even if it's just a little spark.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So how can you leverage those assets, to create something valuable, to solve a problem, to make a difference in the world?
It doesn't have to be a massive undertaking.
Right.
It could be a small step, a side hustle, or a grand vision, whatever feels right for you.
Exactly. And I think maybe some people are thinking but those people had something special, some unique talent or something.
Right. They had some unfair advantage.
Yeah. And that's not what these stories are about,
Nope.
It's about everyday people, just like you and me, who decided to take action, embrace the challenges, and believe in their ability to create something amazing.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe someday we'll be featuring your Broke to Boss story.
Right here.
Right here on this very deep dive.
That would be awesome.
It would. So until then, keep dreaming, keep hustling, and keep believing in the power of your own potential.
I love it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll catch you